I hope I got here in time to film this video. I just have my Lakers tote bag and my Luka tumbler and my Lakers hat, which I'm wearing like too tilted. But thankfully, I'm here just in time to do my top 11 because I could not be held to just 10 hottest Luka moments. So much Luka content and Luka discussion is very like negative. Not negative about him, but just like the situation is negative for former hardcore Mavericks fans like myself. I'm now like a light Mavericks fan. I still follow and I follow the games. I'll watch the Grizzlies game tonight and I will continue to listen to my podcasts and but you know, it's just not the same. I don't think it's the same for most people. I don't know if it's all right. It's not right, but it's okay. But it does kind of coordinate with my hat. It is vaguely athletics related because I believe this is a boxer's drink brand, but I do not follow boxing. So these are what I'm calling his hottest moments. They're not all highlights. You can watch a highlight reel. There's a million of them. This is Shannon Wemo and her conception of what's hot. There is no not. The only least hot moment is Luka being traded. But that's even a little part of this as well. But as if you watch my hottest players or my least hottest players videos, thank you. Thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, even if you're commenting something rude, which almost nobody did. I love being called auntie. I feel like it really puts a positive spin on my advanced age. Your Auntie Shannon Wemo, your Uncle Kyrie, or your Uncle LeBron. We're very proud of you. So hot can, lots of different things contribute to hotness. So some of these are maybe not traditionally hot, but they're like endearing or just like add to how much I love Luka. So let's go. A number 11. Do y'all remember this? When it was one of the OKC playoff games, and during the press conference, someone loudly starts playing porn, and so you just hear moaning while he's talking, and the faces he makes were incredibly adorable. He just was like, like he looked like he thought he was in trouble, and he's just a cutie patootie. Who out here? I'm fat, okay? Who is calling this man with these muscular arms fat? Monsters. This is a dumb one. This is him like when he first came to Dallas, and someone's posted this. It pops up on TikTok every once in a while that he came to the club and they taught him how to Dougie. And I mean, can you imagine? Because how old was he when he got drafted? 18 or 19? You know, new to the U.S. Like, I think maybe he said he'd come to the U.S. a couple of times. And Dallas is the first place you get to go. I'm a lifelong Dallasite. I don't know. That's not what most people would choose of all the cities in the United States. But he goes to the club and they teach him how to Dougie. And it's very cute. He's too young for me here, but you know, I'm so attached to him. Then looking back, I'm like, oh, he's such a little baby. Oh, let me teach you how to Dougie. And then it also reminds me, I read an article. I think it was a Rolling. No, I'm not. It was a very long article, but I can't remember where it was published. From when he was like basically kind of going back. It was before he'd even been drafted, and you know he's still in Madrid, and so they come to Madrid to like interview him. And, you know, we're remarking on, like, how he speaks excellent Spanish. And they had asked him, like, what would his nickname be? And he said Swaggy LD. And they were all like, no, I don't think so. And so Swaggy LD is a part of me, as I hope it is a part of you. He loves a prank. And I mean, okay, I don't like pranks as a rule, but for some reason, his, like, childlike glee at pranking people is cute to me, like in the same way it's cute when Giannis does it. But this, you know, I love Derek Jones Jr. And he just completely straight face came up and pulled the like, oh, you've got something on your shirt, and then hit him in the nose. I think Derek Jones Jr. was annoyed, but it was cute. But then, he was traded not too long after that, and I'd seen like a clip where he said Luka played too much, and like I think this might be a case of Luka playing too much. What was another one? I was like, there's a classic one where he's like tapping on the other shoulder of Kyrie, and like it was someone on the other side of him. He's a playful boy. I actually meant to include it, but they were taking their like team photos, and I guess they all had Post-it notes of like where to sit, and so he just had like a Post-it note that said Luka on his forehead. I like that he doesn't take himself too seriously, and I like that. Okay, party boy Luka. I used to be quite the, I don't know, square. But over time, I realized, I enjoy a drink. I can enjoy a hookah. But these are literally the 4 instances we have of him drinking. Like, photographs of him drinking, and the one time he did hookah, and then they were like, oh, he's clearly got a problem. This is literally all we've ever seen. These are the times that he is drunk on camera, or spoken of drinking, or did hookah. Like, give me a damn break. It was not like a chronic problem. But I think it's been said by many people who have more insight into it than I. Kind of like how Jokic loves his horses. Like, these guys are not like, I am a machine, basketball is life, blah, blah, blah. Which I can find very boring in someone, in a Jason Tatum, in someone who's just like extremely, even SGA to a degree, like very, I am a machine that makes baskets and that's it, I mean, at least SGA's got the, like, he cares about fashion, so like at least he's got that going for him. I don't like his style, but at least he's got something else going on. Luka's got lots of other things going on. He's got his family. He's got his hookah. Luka Dončić. Who could forget it? He's drinking this beer. They tried to claim he was drinking that beer like the night before a game, and they were like, this is an old picture. That has to be Bobby, right? Like, just by the size of that hand and like that hairdo. And then of course, famously, when he has his beer taken out of his hand while he's sitting there after he's won the Western Conference Finals, having a beer with his dad, give me a damn break, times 2. And then when he said he needed a recovery beer, I mean, can you imagine being that young to be like, oh, I need a recovery beer. I need a recovery, whatever you call this, seltzer from the trauma of doing videos. It's actually a Jamaica hibiscus cocktail. So it has actual tequila in it. I love a Jamaica. It's a little sweet for me, but I give it a B. The 73-point game, of course. That's a kind of easy one. But it was like, I remember, did the game start when I was on my way home from work or something? I just remember listening to it on the way home. And it's, I don't know, something about when I was listening to it, I was like, I feel like this game is really, like, I feel like Luka's really going off. And then got home and watched it and was like, oh, it's actually, like, historic. I love him just yelling, and, like, at a certain point where Hawks fans were yelling for him, too, just because it was so impressive. And this is just my own thirsty auntie vibes, but something about when these men are sitting, these men with these long, muscular, big legs, like, I feel like their knees are always like up around their ears, and they're just like, they look so awkward, but it's also hot because it's like, let me see all that leg. I mean, his knees are not up to his ears, but it's just like they can't sit in a chair like a normal human being, and it's hot. But I mean, no one's stopped him since. I was kind of like when I went to a Lakers game. I don't know if I mentioned it. And it was against the Rockets, and they had sat everybody. Like, the only starter playing was Jalen Green. So they had no Şengün, and they had minimal defense. So I was like, this could be a Luka go-off game. But it was really more of an Aaron Reeves go-off game, not a Rui Hachimura go-off game. I mean, Luka had a good game too. But he didn't go off for 73. How dare you? I was wearing this Luka dress. Really should have done it for me. Now I can't see from here which one this is. That's what I fucking do. Like I said in my hot video, he's so reserved when he's talking about himself, like outside of playing. But when he plays, it's like he's a monster unleashed, and that's hot. It's hot to be able to control your monster. Like, that sounds weird, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, different people respond to different things, but a lot of times, as a gal, a straight gal, if you were looking at a man, you'd like a certain amount of like aggressiveness, but you don't want that aggressiveness, or I think sometimes our wires get twisted and we can't tell the difference between good aggressive and bad aggressive. There's good aggressive where it's like in an appropriate place, sport, but not in a, like, you are an abusive person, or you are, you know, flying off the handle, you're pulling your gun at the red light, like Sizzle likes, in whichever song that is, like, appropriate. And then when you're not in the zone, you can be like a good husband and a good father and know when to turn it on and off. That's important, and that's hot. When he was this cowboy, I did not know what Dude Perfect was until this. And then I watched the whole Dude Perfect video. I mean, like, that's not for me. That shit is for, I don't know, 13-year-old boys. And if you're a 13-year-old boy watching this, thanks. I probably know your mom. But the getting in this cowboy get up it's hot. I didn't like the pants and the boots, so I kind of cut them off. I didn't think that look really worked for him, but everything else, bolo tie, pearl snap, hat, love it. And I mean, I watched the video, it was entertaining, but it is very much for a different demographic than myself. But the outcome, it works for everybody. Oh, I didn't get to watch this game. I was very, you know, deep in my Mavericks fandom, and I had gone to my friend's son's birthday party, and any down moment I had, I was like checking the score, I was like looking at highlights. I don't know, I was just like really locked in on this, because even before I realized I was a big Rockets fan, like, I like the Rockets, and they put up a good fight. And this was that period of time where Luka was just bleeding all the time and coming off the court bleeding, and there's him embracing Kyrie and them just being so battered and bruised and just barely, I don't think it was double overtime, but I think it was overtime. And I was just like, this isn't hot, but this is sweet. This is Armando's brotherly love. To break this up is, you know, criminal. Like, Nico Harrison, go to prison. You can't fucking guard me, of course. I mean, this is like, you know, an iconic highlight. Just watching stringy ass Gobert just barbecue chicken alert while Luka is ripping him a new one was beautiful. It was a movie, as the kids say. And then this one is new to me because I literally just watched it. I put it at number 2. I don't know where it actually ranks, but I feel like this image tells you so much about a man. Like, hey, that phone looks so tiny in his hands. Big hands. Number 1, that's what you need to know, hotness wise. Number 2, he has not replaced the phone. He's like, it still works. I don't know why, like, it could be really annoying, someone else that you know isn't a millionaire, to joke about things being expensive, but like, he's putting his money where his mouth is. He has not replaced his iPhone because it still works. Like, that's being like a frugal king. Because I've also heard him say he only gets his haircut, and he only likes to get his haircut in Slovenia because haircuts are too expensive here. It's like, that's hilarious. I'm sure you have like a staff barber, but he can pull it off because he's a cutesy patootsy. And like, okay, so frugal king. Also, he, like I said, it's hot to have a little aggression sometimes, and the fact that he was told this absolute heartbreaking news. I mean, well, and because it's balance, he also was crying on the bench. He said that the first feeling he felt was heartbreak. Like, he can tap into his emotions, but he can also throw his fucking phone on the ground and shatter it because he is so pissed at the way he's being treated. And the way his teammates are being treated and the way the fans are being treated. Like, this tells you what you need to know about his loyalty, his frugality, his hotness, his strength, and his big ass hands. This might be number one now. But it's like I just saw it, so. And I guess there's going to be more of this interview with Malika, is her name? She's a beauty. But she has like the ugliest husband. Isn't she married to like the whitest, blandest looking man? Who's also a sports commentator? I could be wrong. But absolute icon. Icon's overused, but this broken phone, she is the moment. Now this, I didn't do correctly. That's a picture of my dress. I meant for that. Oh, this is also funny. Okay, this is better. I don't know why this moment had such an impact on me, but it did. It was a strange day. Let me paint you a picture. It was a Pistons game, which we were certainly going to win, and we did. My husband's colleague and friend, who I also was friends with and had affection for, had passed away, and we went to his service. And after the service, we went to this bar because we wanted to watch this Mavs game and blow off some steam. You know, it was a heavy day. What we didn't know was that bar, they were having a wake there for a patron who had died, like a woman that came there all the time. And she had, in a freak accident, died. And the place was packed for her. And it was funny because we were trying to kind of escape that sad feeling. But, you know, it was a celebration of life. Like, it was just really an interesting experience hearing them talk about this woman that we didn't know, but that they had such love for. But we were also watching this game, and this is when Dwight Powell had gotten an injury. He's always getting hit in the face, getting his cornea scraped or whatever. And so he'd had to wear these goggles. And Luka was on the bench, and for some reason he put the goggles on. I don't know why, but it was so cute the way he was playing around because he was like, and I don't know, just like caught my eye while we were watching it, and I was just like, I couldn't stop using this image. I think it might still be my Twitter image. Like, I just love it. Actually, I took this and I put the wired earplugs in, you know, like that LeBron meme that everyone was changing it to Luka around the finals because, for reasons I don't quite remember, but something to do with the Cavaliers coming back after being down 3 maybe, and the Mavs were down 3, and we were really trying to make something happen that didn't. Anyway, I took the headphones and I put them on this picture because I'm obsessed with it. Then I wore this dress to the Lakers game, which has, let me get back. It has him here, but then it is also, can you see? Anyway, it's him doing this on the back. And in this picture, after the Lakers game, we did go to a gay bar called Precinct in LA. I love it. The past few times I've been to LA, they always have fun drag shows. It was a Shrek-themed drag show, really for a younger cohort than me. And they were playing more like, I don't know, My Chemical Romance and stuff. Not just like circuit pop music, you know, about gay culture at all. You know what circuit music is. But they have this big sign here that says, "Thick thighs save lives." And I was like, love that. In my Luka dress, he also has thick thighs. And it was the moment. But this is my number one most important, hottest Luka moment. Probably not everybody's. What is yours? Please let me know. And if you are a Lakers fan, there is no, it's a safe space. I'm not going to be mad if you're gloating about having Luka. I'm not going to be mad if you love Luka too. Because that's what everybody's saying. Like, we're Luka fans. Like, my Mavericks fandom is now separate. And my latent Lakers fandom is purely, you know, a result of Luka. So, you know, Mavericks fans are MFFL, which I think is kind of, I never liked it to be with Mavs fans for life. And now people are changing it to MFFL, Mavs fans for Luka. Like, we feel real aggrieved, and I think that's okay. got this. It's an excellent little insulated mug, and it's beautiful. I don't think I ever saw a beautiful Mavs paraphernalia like this. I actually never got a Luka, neither of us did a Luka jersey. Just, I don't know. Maybe we could sense it. Maybe we knew it could happen. But it's crazy. But I'm trying to put like not a positive spin on it. It sucks. It's gonna continue to suck, but it is. I like to think of the happy times. He was saying in that interview, like he was in bed watching a movie. I wonder what movie he was watching. Malika, you're not asking the right questions. Was it a Slovenian movie? Was it like a Balkan movie? Was it, I don't know, Rush Hour 2? Why is that the first movie? I think I don't know. I've never even seen it. But I'd love to know. But that night I was like about to go to bed, but I was just watching. I was gonna just put it on a YouTube video. Or yeah, what was the deal? I guess I was flipping through YouTube, and my husband had already gone to bed, and I saw something. I think it was a slightly biased video that said like Luka traded, but it was around that time. I mean, obviously the time of the draft deadline, that everyone's like speculating things, like, how much would it take to trade somebody, this, that, and the other, like, because, I find the trade deadline kind of goofy because they spend so much time speculating what could happen that, and just for the sake of content, that very little of it has any application or reality. And so I saw someone Luka trade, and I was like, oh, that's probably just like someone speculating, like what would it take to trade him? And so I put it on something else. Like, I love to watch makeup videos. And then, but somehow, like, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So I was like watching that makeup video. I was like, okay, I'll just look on my phone real quick. I was like, oh, no, this is real. This is crazy. And so I ran into the bedroom and I was like, Luka got traded. And it is funny. Matt, my husband, likes basketball, but he was not into sports at all either, just like me. And we started watching them, but I have a tendency to, like, go really gung-ho into things. And so he has been, like, along for the ride, and we'll watch games. He likes to watch games. He likes to go to games. He likes it all, but he is not, like, locked in like me, where I'm constantly consuming basketball content, because I feel like I have so much to catch up on that I'm a librarian, like, I just want all the info. And so, he was not going to find it out first, because I'm the one that's on the phone, on the TV, on the computer, constantly triangulating all the information. So that was absolutely wacky. And my best friend lives in LA. And so immediately I'm like, congrats. She's not a big basketball fan either, but she did go to the Lakers game with me, and had a great time. And so that's my little story. But I will talk about my going to the Lakers game, because I've never actually been to another arena other than American Airlines Center. So that was just a different experience. It took us a long time to get there because LA traffic. Have you heard about it? But there were so many stands of people selling unlicensed jerseys and stuff. I was kind of amazed, like, can y'all not kick them out? But they were across the street from the crypto arena, and which I guess formerly Staples Center, so people keep calling it that. I think it might have still been called Staples Center the last time I was in LA, but that was a while back. That was 2019. That's when I was on Let's Make a Deal, if you ever want to hear about that. I made a video about it a long time ago, but so there were so many people selling jerseys outside, and just like framed pictures. I'm like, yeah, I want to buy this framed picture of Luka, and then carry it around the game. Give me a break. Those big chains, like big plastic chains that they have at games, like, I'm sure you could get it cheaper out there. But that was surprising to me. And one of the guys out there asked me who was on my dress, and we all were like, oh, Luka. And he said, Taylor Swift. It's like, I mean, they have similar hair color. I guess I felt racially profiled that he assumed I was a Taylor Swift fan. I'm not, but who could blame him, right? But then getting in was really easy, except for, why does every place, it's just like the airport, every place has different rules. I had gotten a little purse that I knew was the right size for their rules, but I've never had it where you go through security and they say, okay, take everything metal out of your purse and then carry your purse in through the metal detector. I'm like, I don't know. So I kept getting, I walked through, I beeped. The guy that was in charge of the beeping said, oh, I like your dress. But that did not mean I didn't have to keep going through the beeper because I still had metal in my purse because I didn't have a full catalog of all the metal in my purse. I didn't like that. But I did feel like we had great seats. If you're ever at Crypto, we were in 207, which we got for pretty cheap. I mean, they were expensive, but I don't think they were any more expensive than a comparable seat at American Airlines Center. And it was great. Close to the bathroom, close to the store, close to, did I say bathrooms? Close to the beer, close to good view, primo seats in 207B. And all the other 200s were like really expensive, but it was like, maybe just because they were resale tickets or something, got a really good deal. You know, so many Luka jerseys. Like, we were just happy. We're like, oh, I'm just happy he's being embraced here. Like, you know, can't be upset. I saw one Anthony Davis Lakers jersey. Saw, that's kind of it. I think, you know, LeBron's obviously lots of LeBron jerseys, and so that was exciting. The music is so much better there than at American Airlines Center. If you like hip hop, it was all hip hop and it was all fun, and they did not care that these songs were filthy. They edited them, but they still played them. I feel like American Airlines Center, it's all like Don't Stop Believing, like, you know, just kind of like very generic. My friend lost count when we were like counting Kendrick songs. It was just nonstop. And then my favorite Kendrick feature song is like That, and they played Like That, like the first part, and like the, I can't remember his name. It's Future, right? But that part is so filthy. It's like all my do, because it's like all my hoes do different drugs. I put it in her, it's gonna make her leak. But it's still a great song, even if you have to beep out all the lines. But that was awesome. I was like, okay, much prefer the music here. Then my friend took issue with a Nicki Minaj Mega Mix, but I didn't mind. So that was fun. Got to see Lakers girls, you know? Like, they're such an iconic basketball thing. And I kind of hadn't even thought about how I was going to see the Lakers girls. I'd watched Winning Time. I always knew Paula Abdul was their choreographer, but I'd never really known the full story of, like, it was a really big deal at the time for them to be dancing in, like, that very kind of, like, popular dance style that was more provocative than what basketball dancers had done in the past. So, like, real, like, modern, it was like hip-hop dance, but you know what I mean. It was scandalous at the time. So that was really cool. It was just cool to get to see LeBron warm up, Bronny, Luka, and Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. I love all those guys. I like Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm a Lakers fan. And Austin Reeves is from the very small town that my family previously had a farm outside of. So that was the town we would go into to, like, go to the grocery store. But I mean, you had to go even farther. You had to go to Batesville to go to Walmart. But this little town, Newark, Arkansas, I've gotten the habit of saying like Newark, like New Jersey, but no, it's like Newark if you're from Arkansas. And when I first saw Austin Reeves talk, I was like, oh, this boy's from Arkansas. And so I had to look him up. I was like, Newark, Arkansas, I can't believe it. It used to be 800 people, but I checked Wikipedia. It was up to 1,000. So I'm a big fan. And he was undrafted, you know, and now he's playing like third bet, like he is in the top 3 with LeBron and Luka for the Lakers. Like, I love that. I love a come up, you know? And okay, and I also didn't know how people were going to feel about Bronny. I didn't know if people were just kind of like a begrudging acceptance. But once they were pretty far ahead, because it was a blowout, because they sat all the. I was traveling, so I didn't like look into it too much. But I should have seen the Rockets had already secured their second seed spot, so they were resting everybody. So the only starter was Jalen Green. But it's like when we got there, I had not realized that, and I was like, why is Dylan Brooks sitting in street clothes? Why is Fred VanVleet sitting in street clothes? Where's Şengün? Where's Ben Thompson? Was he there? I'm not even sure if he was there. Anyway, it was a blowout, but it was fun to be at a blowout at home. And it was the Lakers' 50th win of the season. And so they were like extremely excited to win that game, even though it was going to be most likely a blowout. And so they did get pretty far ahead and brought out Bronny, and everyone was like, Bronny. And then he made a three, and everyone was like, Bronny. And it was very exciting. I was happy they were happy for Bronny, and I was happy for them. And the girls in front of us, they were like younger gals that had come, no man. You know, they were there for the ball and to look cute and take pictures. But the girl that I think was the most into basketball, she had seen my dress, and she was like, oh my God, you gotta take a picture with it. And so we had a nice little ladies of basketball moment. But I had been feeling kind of ill. We went to Disneyland for like 12 hours the day before. I was exhausted and like dehydrated. And so I hadn't really been able to get like my groove on. But eventually I had a couple of strays and I was like, ding, 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 ding. It's like John Morant. I'm going to get, what's the word where you can't play a game? Suspended? I wonder if he's going to play tonight. I don't know when I'm going to post this, but tonight is the playing game against the Grizzlies. If John doesn't play, we've got a chance. 80, of course you know he's questionable. But anyway, what are my other thoughts about the Lakers game? It was very fun. There was some MVP chants, but unfortunately Luka was having trouble hitting his free throws. He had just missed a lot of free throws in a row, and we all started chanting MVP, and he missed another free throw, and then we stopped, and then he hit it. We were like, okay, we understand. Like, you know, you're not even eligible this year. But it was still nice that everybody did. So we were chanting Bronny, we were chanting MVP. I was like, can I start a Fire Nico chant here? I don't think they'd be on board. But that was like, oh, and it was Fan Appreciation Day. So that's why we all got these bags for free. And they're like extremely cute. And like they say Los Angeles Lakers in this like cute font and like their nice canvas bags. Like this is really nice. And then they had this little station where you could get your hair like done. So I had these like sparkly purple and sparkly gold like little hair pieces in, and then my friend got like these like just hair, just like orange and golden purple hair, and then like kind of glitter paste in her hair, which was very hard to get out, but it was totally free. And it was so, and then they also had face painting. It was really fun, and it was like partially just because we weren't conveniently, another reason 207 is nice is it's like they said, 207 is part of 107. So you don't really have to go up internal, like the big stairs. You just have to go in 107 and then take stairs up. So you're kind of treated like you're in the, you know, lower bowl. Very excellent. But parking, I can't speak to. We took an Uber, got harassed waiting for our Uber, which also took forever for some reason, because the man was like trying to, you know, give you a CD in exchange for a donation, but he had a lot to say about my butt. But that's just being a woman. We survived. And then we took an Uber to a bar. What was it called? Something Clutch. It was kind of like a pinball speakeasy, because like when you walked into the bar, it was just, well, first it looked like a restaurant at the front, then it was a bar, then there was another bar upstairs that was like more like the punk bar. It was kind of punk. They only had cocktails, but they did have pinball. But then there was like a guy that was creepy to me there, and I was just like, give me a fucking break. And I mean, look at me, I'm like an old chunky woman, so I'm like, oh, to be like a young pretty woman, like, oh, it must be so exhausting. Even when I was young, I feel like I've always had a little bit of a resting bitch face, and that really has helped me. But like, So then we went, there was actually another bar upstairs from there playing it had a DJ with all different kind of music, so it was cool. Sliding clutch, something like that. But slipping clutch. I'm not sure. If you're in LA and you really want to know, comment below. But next door is Precinct, the gay bar, and so we went there, and I was like, oh my god, no one's being creepy to me here. We can just dance and have a good time, and it was a great relief. And we did literally go from doing the straightest thing possible, going to a basketball game, to the gayest thing possible, which was going to a Shrek-themed drag show at a gay bar, and I loved it. Had a little too much fun, but survived. To wake up early and go to a t-ball game the next day. This is why I don't have children. I had to go to my friend's child's t-ball game. I could not do that on a regular basis. But anyway, that was my experience with the Lakers game, and it was fun and cool. But let me know, what are your favorite Luka moments? And do you have any other suggestions for other videos to make? I'm working on some other ideas. I was also just thinking of like each team, like hottest players on each team. But that'd be a lot of work because I don't know all the players on every team. So I was gonna start with Mavericks. I feel like I know Mavericks best, then Lakers, then Rockets, and then I don't know. I'd have to. At least I know like the Bucks. I know the two hottest players, but I'd have to do some more investigation. But if you ask me to do your team, I will. Even if I don't know them that well, that's fun. It's always, as a librarian and researcher, I love, like, I couldn't name a Raptor other than Scotty Barnes, who I'm sorry, he's not hot. Is he? Can you call them Raptors, right? I think so. So I would love to learn about a team I don't know as well. I feel like just, Eastern Conference teams I don't know as well. Anyway, I enjoy my drink. I think I'm done recording videos for the day because I have run out of slides. But keep whaming and Luka forever.